Washington Commanders. This Washington Commanders guys team has kind of really coming out of nowhere. Let's just be honest, right? Right now, they are leading the NFC East. They're sitting at a 4-1 record so far this season. They do play the Ravens in this much-watched game this weekend. We will be streaming this game over on our Discord. So if you guys want to watch it and you're not in the Baltimore, Washington area, bada bing, bada boom, it will be on our Discord. But as of right now, the Washington Commanders have the 5th-ranked offense in the NFL. Jaden Daniels is playing at an MVP level, playing out of his mind. Not only rookie of the year, but MVP level. They're averaging 31 points per game as well. They are lighting up the scoreboard. And their defense isn't half bad either. 13th ranked defense, only giving up 23 points per game, 328 total yards. But slow it down, baby. Slow it down, right? Slow it down. When we look at the Washington Commanders, they are 4-1 on the season. But let's look who they've beaten. They've beaten the New York Football Giants. The Giants are 2-3 on the season. If the Giants actually would have had a kicker, they probably would have lost that game, right? The Cincinnati Bengals, 1-4 on the season. The Arizona Cardinals, 2-3 on the season. The Cleveland Browns, 1-4. Where is James at when you need him? His Browns are terrible. The only team they really didn't sneak by in this 4-game winning streak is the Arizona Cardinals, which they did dominate on the scoreboard, but not the game. So you guys, we have to ask a question. Are the Washington Commanders contenders or pretenders? Guys, I think the Washington Commanders are pretenders. I think they are pretenders because on the games that they have played, yes, they are on a 4-game winning streak. Yes, they came out of nowhere. Yes, Jaden Daniels is playing at an MVP level. But the Bengals, the Browns, I can give you the Cardinals, and I can give you a good win versus the Giants. Guys, the Washington Commanders are pretenders. They're going to get smacked this week by the Baltimore Ravens. They are going to get smacked by Lamar Jackson and that kind of bad Baltimore Ravens defense. Let's just be honest. And then they play the Panthers and Bears and Giants again. Kind of bounce back, kind of like, oh, it's just a fluke or whatever, right? But then they play the Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, Titans, Saints, Eagles to end the season. Yeah, they might get 7-8 wins, but they got an easy-ass schedule. Let's just be honest. Their schedule's easy. Easy-ass schedule. Guys, the Washington Commanders are pretenders in my opinion. They lost to the Buccaneers week 1, and I think that is actually who they are. Teams are going to start to catch up and know how to stop Jaden Daniels. Yes, the defense is playing well. Not terrible, or not great, but not terrible. They're playing well. Everything will come crashing back down to reality. Coming back down to reality. So guys, I got to ask the question to you guys out there in the comments below. Are the Washington Commanders contenders or pretenders? John says Washington's are contenders. The Commanders are contenders, says John. John says, Sadran says contender, but they're going to get worked this weekend. So, John, let me ask you this question. They do play the Ravens this weekend, and I have been on this show right here and said that the Ravens have the best team on paper in the NFL, and they are probably the best team right now in the NFL. If you get dick stomped by the Baltimore Ravens this week, but then come back the following weeks and beat the Panthers and Bears and Giants again, so you have won 7 out of your 8, and then 8 out of your first 10 games versus teams that are really like nobodies, right? And the 2 teams that are playoff teams, you got your dick stomped by. Does that really make you a contender? I don't know. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here because I think they are pretenders. Kevin Cummings says contenders. They came out of nowhere for you, maybe. I've said it since preseason. They're going to win that division. And Kevin, you've been spot on. You have been watching this show now for a month or so now, and every time we've talked about the Washington Commanders, you have been on this. They're going to win the division. They're going to win the division. They're going to win the division. Now, let's say the Cowboys, we are going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys coming up here soon, so stay tuned. But let's say the Cowboys are a 7-win team. Let's say the Eagles are a 6-win team. Let's say the Giants are a 5-win team, and you win that division by default, but you have a losing record, 8-9. Does that really make you a contender still? I mean, yes, you are going to the playoffs. Yes, you're probably going to get blown out in the playoffs, but you had a losing record. Does that really make you a contender? Like, when I think of contender, I think of deep playoff run. I don't know. Paul Aker must be a Cowboys hater. Says, who has Dallas beaten? They got very lucky to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Paul, we will be talking about the Dallas Cowboys coming up here. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. But the Dallas Cowboys dominated the Steelers. Let's just be honest. Kevin says, it doesn't matter how you win the game as long as you win them, baby. And John People says, just like Al Davis says, just win, baby, win. Yes. It doesn't matter if you win by win or 100. A win is a win is a win. And I respect you guys for that. I get it. James Chamberlain says a little bit of both. They are good, but they really haven't been under the bright lights yet. Facts. James is bringing the truth today, bringing the facts today. We have been hyping up. I mean, hell, I have them 6 in my power rankings, right? We've been hyping them up, but Browns, Cardinals, Bengals, Giants, Giants could be sleepers, 7-8 wins potentially. It could be a good win, but the Bengals, Cardinals, and Browns right now are not. They are bad teams. Paul says, a typical Dallas fan reply. True, I guess so. Top fan Kevin says, Ravens are more experienced and have a better team. Plain and simple. Washington is still winning the division. We'll see. Kevin says, if you make the playoffs, then you are a contender. I mean, obviously, you have to be one of the top 14 teams in the NFL to make the playoffs. Obviously, you have to either win the division or be a really, really good team to make the playoffs. So I guess by default, Kevin, whoever makes it into the playoffs, I think this year is going to be a contender, yes. So if the Washington Commanders do make it to the playoffs and win the NFC East like you expect, I think by default you have to make them a contender because this year it is truly wide open. Truly wide open. And Paul says, dominated? Yes, the Dallas Cowboys dominated the Steelers. Yes. Ryan says, when I think of contender, I think of Mickey from Rocky. You know, fun fact here, guys. I have never watched Rocky. Never watched Rocky, never watched any of the Star Wars. Am I a loser for that? Kevin says, ask the Eagles how they think they think a team with a losing record aren't contenders in the playoffs. Cough, 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 Buccaneers. True. I mean, this is what's great about the NFL in general. Any given Sunday, a team can win. Look at the Giants from Eli Manning's second Super Bowl, right? They had to win week 17 to just get into the playoffs. They were the last seed of the playoffs, and then they went on some amazing run. So yeah.